Hello, and welcome to the annual Youth Making Ripples Film Festival premiere.
I'm Dr. Lauren Tove.
And I'm Dr. Phil Gravenese, and we are the co-founders of Youth Making Ripples. Youth Making Ripples is a nonprofit organization that promotes marine conservation by asking K-12 students to share messages about the ocean through film.
Now, in the past, we've always had our premiere as an in-person event, but we know things have been a little bit different over the last few years. And so tonight, we would like to welcome you to the Youth Making Ripples virtual premiere event. And with that, I will turn it over to the rest of our team who will introduce the films.
Hey everyone!
I'm Gretchen.
And I'm Abby.
And we are the social media interns for Youth Making Ripples. This next group of films were made entirely by elementary and middle school students. To give you an idea of format, we will show clips from our finalists, announce the winner, and then play that film in its entirety. Up first, we have Can It, plastic makers. Aluminum can help reduce marine debris.
Aluminum is one of the Earth's greenest metals, but it is very hard to extract from the Earth's crust. Extracting aluminum in its raw form can add to global warming because of its difficult process, and then this material must be shipped all around the world, also adding to fossil fuel consumption as well as greenhouse gases.
But when we recycle aluminum, it actually uses 95% less power than it would when we make new aluminum.
Wow, I feel a bit crushed after seeing all that waste, but don't worry, I won't keep it bottled up. Up next, we love these kids, but they don't love plastics.
We love birds.
But do you know what we don't love?
Fishing line. Fishing line is thrown around like nothing, but it can get wrapped around boats and do a lot of damage.
They can even die.
Wow, those were some fantastic films from some very gifted youngsters. Now, to announce the winner of the elementary and middle school prize for Youth Making Ripples 2021 Film Festival. The category win and the $200 prize goes to Cole Edmund Barnes for microplastics. Size doesn't matter. Let's see if we can learn some bits and pieces about these microscopic bits and pieces.
It's a common cliche in media that when a fisherman has rotten luck, he'll catch a boot or some other piece of junk. The joke being that when he expects some nice fish for food, he gets garbage. While food and garbage are remarkably different, in the 21st century, the fisherman just might catch both with one line. Humans make over 380 million tons of plastic every year. 380 million tons. That's pretty insane. But that itself isn't inherently bad if it was properly repurposed or disposed of. What's even more insane is that less than 9% of it is actually recycled. That's about 313,704,483,092 kilograms of plastic that isn't recycled. Like what? That's the craziest thing I've heard today. Now, let's get down to the main idea, microplastics. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA for short, plastic debris can come in all shapes and sizes, but those that are less than 5 millimeters in length, or about the size of a sesame seed, are called microplastics. Now, microplastics may be small, but their amount is not. The UN states that microplastics in the sea now outnumber the stars in our galaxy. Let that sink in. Stars. In our galaxy. So there is a guarantee that a fish may consume one of these. On a blog post on oceanconservy.org, it reads, around 74% of fillets and 63% of livers had at least one microplastic present, while 99% of fish had at least one particle present in any of the 3 studied tissues. The poor fish. Microplastics can affect fish in terrible ways. According to Fanimal.online, a study by Professor Chelsea Rochman, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, from the University of Toronto in 2016 has shown that fish that ingest chemically treated plastic have resulting liver damage. It also states that microplastics can block a fish's digestive system. So a fish eats some microplastic. Microplastics can get into humans too, though. Little research on the effects of microplastics in humans has been made so far, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. According to Healthline.com, phthalates, a type of chemical used to make plastic flexible, have been shown to increase the growth of breast cancer cells. However, this research was carried out in a petri dish, so the results can't be generalized to humans. And some studies have also shown that microplastics in the air may cause lung cells to produce inflammatory chemicals. However, this has only been shown in test tube studies. As you can see, microplastics, plastic, and other ingredients of plastic are harmful to people and fish. But don't panic and stop eating fish, because this is low compared to the other sources of microplastics in the human body. Yes, there are other sources. According to this very nifty graph from the Ocean Conservancy article, the plastic water bottle is the main source of you consuming microplastics, a lot more than fish. So the best solution for this would just to be drink out of metal water bottles. But what are the other solutions for a more general plastic problem? Well, I have 3. This first one is very obvious, but I have an obligation to say it. Recycle. It's a no-brainer. It takes 2 seconds to wash out an empty Gatorade and plop into the recycling bin. I'll do it right now. Here I have this undisclosed liquid in a bottle that is completely unopened. So first I have to drink it and see how fast I can get it to the recycling bin. So first let's drink it. So now it's all drunk, so now we can actually start the speed run. 3, 2, 1. Alright, that took 12 seconds, which is a bit more than 2, but barely any time. While one Gatorade bottle won't save the world, the collective of all of us recycling will make an impact. What if you want a more active impact instead of a passive one? Well, I have the perfect thing for you, beach cleanups. Beach cleanups are, in my opinion, the most calming type of trash cleanup, especially with some friends and family. So if you can, invite some people to chit-chat and make the world a cleaner place. The final thing, in my eyes, is one of the most important. Donating to charities that will help the ocean. Tens of thousands of people who are in charities make a massive impact. For starters, there's Plastic Oceans. Another charity is Ocean Conservancy, who are a part of the International Coastal Cleanup. In conclusion, talk to your family about plastic pollution and other environmental issues. Clean up the environment with them. Remember, you are not going to solve ocean pollution. We are.
Hi everyone, welcome to the High School Awards. I'm Honey and I'm a board member with YMR. Without further ado, let's take a look at some clips from the finalists. If you missed the first one, let's stop and take a look at the motion of this animated adventure.
Among all the predatory species in the sea, sharks are one of the apex predators. They eat most things that spark their interest. Those things usually consist of small fish, seals, and other things that enter the ocean. But there is one thing that eats sharks and has caused their numbers to quickly deplete. Humans are the cause of the swift decline in the numbers of sharks in our ocean. This is the result of overfishing and killing of sharks for their fins to make shark fin soup.
Wow! Well, it's far better to make a shark cutout than to cut one up for soup. Ugh. Up next, we get a peek at some of the ways we can protect one of our most unique environments, beaches.
Erosion is natural. The beaches erode every day. It's the overuse of the beach and man-made structures that make it a problem. By walking over the sand dunes and destroying the plants holding the sand down, more sand gets blown away than deposited. And what's worse is seawalls cause waves to bounce back with more energy than they entered with, taking more sand with them as they leave.
Word to the wise, stay salty. Coming up, we learn about marine parks and how they can help protect our marine habitats. What great films. There are sure some talented filmmakers. I bet the judges had a hard time choosing, but choose they did. Now let's get to that award. The winner for the high school category for YMR's 2022 Film Festival and the $200 prize goes to Kara Norman for The Life and Death of Florida's Coral Reef. Congratulations! Let's take a look at the complete piece.
From the moment I was born, the Florida Keys has been my home. I've always been drawn to the crystal clear, beautiful blue waters. The feeling of entering a whole new world. A salty, serene paradise that made any other problems fade away the moment I dipped beneath the surface. Full of diverse creatures who've established lives there since before humans even existed. Living together in harmony. And when we humans showed up, their entire world began to change. Our attempts to bring more and more people to the Keys led to cruise ships far too big to operate safely in our shallow waters. The massive ships stir up the bottom, smothering anything that's living there and destroying entire habitats in the process. Runoff and excess nutrients in our waters are cause for harmful algae blooms, which clog our beaches and collect polluting debris. Dozens of brands of harmful sunscreens are sold and used every single day. Corals are becoming more and more diseased, decimating the coral population. Giant colonies that take centuries to grow to their size are being wiped out in a matter of months. The beautiful reef that was once full of color as far as the eye could see is turning into a dead, brown, and gray area. Invasive species like lionfish cause chaos within the habitat they invade. And all of the organisms who had established their lives for generations before humans even existed are left with a wasteland. I know what I'm saying sounds depressing. That's because it is. I mean, imagine you're me, watching my home and my future become desolate and dead. But not all hope is lost. By advocating for the reef, which cannot speak for itself, collecting data to learn more about these issues, cleaning up trash every chance I get, using reef-safe sunscreen, removing invasive species, and much more. We have literal fractions of our Florida reef tract remaining. Maybe what I'm doing is making a difference, but alone, it won't work. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the actions we take as a global community. And it's about time we got started.
Congratulations again to our winners, and thanks again to all of our amazing filmmakers who submitted films to this year's Youth Making Ripples competition.
Although we didn't have time to show all of them tonight, the top films from this year will be highlighted on our website right after the event. Thank you for all joining us tonight for our virtual film festival. We hope that you will visit our website to sign up for our newsletter so that you can stay in touch about upcoming events. And speaking of upcoming events, in the coming weeks, we will have our Viewer Choice Awards. So be sure to tune into our social media to find out how you can cast your vote.
And while you're on our website, we hope you'll also consider making a donation to our program so we can keep featuring the amazing films by these student filmmakers in the future. Thank you again for joining us, and have a great night.